Okay, on section 4.9, just so that you guys know, this isn't over 2 days, it's only one. And the reason for this is because you've already done some of these in the past. It's all calculator work. This is where you're coming up with the curve of best fit. You remember we did line of best fit? And then we did parabola best fit? Same concept. So when I go through this again, what we're going to do on this part is it's going to say on the first few problems, it's going to say write the cubic one that models the graph. Here's what I would do if I had that particular question. If they give you enough ordered pairs, which they do, like they give you ordered pairs of -5, 0, 2, -2, 4, 0, and 1, 0. Now, realistically, what we could do is we could do this by hand if we wanted to for this particular problem because we know it's a cubic. There is a way that we could do this by hand, but realistically, I know better, and you'd probably rather do it with your calculator anyway. So, when we did this, and this has been a while since we've done it, but here's what you did. You typed stat, then edit, and then remember we typed X is going to list 1, Y is going to list 2. You remember doing this? Okay, good. Some of you do, some of you don't. But as we're typing all those numbers in, then in order to actually find the equation, remember we had to run what they call a regression. Where was the regressions at? Then you go to stat again. And then this time not edit, but where? Over to calc. Okay. And then on the calc menu. Okay, when you have your graphing calculator set up, after you've typed everything in and after I've hit stat and over to calc, remember the first one up there is one variable stats, which we're not going to do. Then it's two variable stats, which we're not going to do. Med, we're not going to do. Linear regression was the first one on there. Remember option 4? We did that one already. These are not going to be lines. They're going to be curves. We're looking for curves of best fit. Then it's got quadratic regression, cubic regression, quartic regression. And those are the only types of regression it gives you. So the ones we're going to focus on for this particular concept is going to be 6 and 7, cubic or quartic. Now for this particular problem, it said cubic regression, or cubic 1. So I go down to option number 6. And then depending on the age of your calculator, like Sierra's here is a newer one, so I got to go down to calculate. And then it gives you all the pieces. I want you to tell me what the equation is. So what equation came out of there, Sierra? It was y equals what?
Ax to the third.
No. What is the a?
Oh,
0.14 x to the third?
yeah, plus -1.3. Oh wait, it has the e behind it, but that's specific.
Okay, now, good question. On her B, when I got that out of the calculator, it said -1.3 e to the -13th. What number is that really? 0. Good. So do I have to put an x squared there if it was 0? No. Could I put plus 0x squared if I choose to? Sure I could have. But there's no need if you don't want to. Then for C, what was C, Sarah? -3x, and then what was the d, or the constant?
2.85.
Plus 2.85. Anything else? Nope. And that's your answer, right? All they're going to ask you to do is they're going to ask you to write the polynomial function. That's it. Now, how do you know which one's better between cubic or quartic? Do you remember what I asked you to look at before? The r squared. And what did it have to be close to? -1 or +1. The closer, whichever one's closer to that is better fitting. If you don't have that on your calculator, like I noticed Sierra's did not show up. For that particular thing then, here's how you turn it back on. First thing you do is go into the catalog. In order to get into the catalog, you hit second and then the 0 button. And then you go down to where it says diagnostic. On. And you got to run that. Okay? If you want to know what the R squared value is, you have to run the diagnostic on. Okay? And right now, like I noticed on Sierra's, it was not on. So now it says done after you ran it. Now when you go and run those regressions, it should give you the R squared value. Closest one to 1 or -1, the better fitting it is. So on some of the problems, it's not going to tell you which one it is. You have to run both of them and see which one gives you a better R squared value. Whichever one gives you the best R squared value, that's your answer. Okay? What do you think?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I'll help you in just a second. So, on page 223 to 224, 5 to 13 odd, 16 and 17.